Chapter 15. Alice sat at her farmhouse table looking at the latest updates from GHKH. Garrett and his team had added an intriguing feature, an improved repeat offender protocol designed to chase off stubborn animals that kept coming back. She smiled to herself, picturing the drone darting over the cornfield, a mechanical screaming scarecrow with a vendetta against persistent pests. She closed the updates, glancing out the window to where the drone sat on the porch, ready for its next round of crow deterrence. As the program loaded, she heard the familiar creak of boots on the floor behind her. Her husband, Paul, walked in from the fields, brushing the dust from his hands, his dark hair covered in a layer of dirt, his face weathered but warm. His gaze landed on her screen, where lines of code flickered under her fingers, and he grinned. "Looks like you're back in tech mode," he said, leaning over her shoulder, eyebrows raised in amused admiration. Alice looked up at him, smiling. "I think I am. And this time it's for a good cause, keeping the crows out of our crops." Paul chuckled, crossing his arms as he watched her work. "Well, from what I've seen, that little drone's doing a good job so far. Those crows have been staying out of sight more often than not." She gave a mock sigh of relief. "Finally, something listens to me around here." Paul laughed, pulling a chair up beside her and sitting down with an affectionate look in his eyes. They had worked side by side since they bought the farm, each bringing their expertise to the table. She had poured her knowledge of systems and problem-solving into every field row and irrigation line, and he had brought his patience, strength, and know-how of the land. Together they had built something meaningful, even if it was still rough around the edges. "You know," Alice said, leaning into him, "I was thinking, if this works, really works, we could make it into something bigger. Not just for us, but for other farmers, too. Imagine it, software business where we help other small farms keep their crops safe." Paul raised his eyebrows, a spark of pride in his eyes. "I always knew you'd get back to building something. I love the idea. So what do you need?" She looked at him, eyes shining. "A few more drones. I want to run more test sweeps and get more coverage. I think if I could show it works on our fields, other farms might be interested. Plus, the new updates could let us target different areas, even coordinate with other types of equipment." She paused, her excitement spilling over as she gestured to her laptop. "This code, Paul, it's brilliant. I think it could be the start of something amazing." Paul reached over, taking her hand in his. "Go for it. If you believe in this, I'm behind you all the way." She felt a warmth spread through her, a reminder of why she had married him. He'd never once held her back, not even when she decided to leave her stable job, not when she insisted they buy the land and take a chance. For him, her ambition was part of who she was, and he wouldn't have it any other way. With renewed determination, Alice pulled up the specs for the new drone, already envisioning the new flight paths she could map out, the potential for automated sweeps and targeted flights. Together, they discussed the logistics, debating which fields needed the most protection and how they could test out different deterrence methods. The future seemed to spread out before her, fields full of possibilities. She knew they'd tackle it together, every line of code and every stubborn crow along the way.